Ikaw ba dumating ka sa punto na confused ka?
I was molested. I've been ashamed several times.
Nagkaroon na ba ng closure yun yung pinagdaanan mo ng bata ka?
Last June 12, RC and I had our very first interview as a couple. Finally, no more hiding of this cutie patootie couple. It was rather a peculiar experience. It is my most memorable. It was the first time I spoke about my truth publicly. Before the show, tense na ako. Sa taas ng confidence level ko, sobra pa rin akong natakot, dry na dry yung throat ko. That event kicked off my transformation towards rebirth. Ang galing, June 12 pa talaga, Freedom Day.
And bukod po sa Independence Day ngayon, June 12, Pride Month din, ang June Papu, Pride Month. At ika nga ng mga kababayan natin sa LGBTQ, be bold, be proud. Pero bago sila mapunta sa ganyang punto, gaano ba talaga ka-challenging yung acceptance stage at eventually makapag-out sa public? Para sagutin yan, ikukwento ho sa atin nilang dalawa, isang dating negosyante at ngayon inspirational speaker na yung tungkol sa kanyang journey of coming out. Let's welcome here in the show, Jordan Patente, kasama ang kanyang partner na si RC Katz. Hello there, guys.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome to our show. Thank you so much for guesting today sa ating show.
Thank you.
Oo, ayan. Sige, simulan na natin.
I feel honored.
Oo, Jordan, ikaw daw talaga ang nais na may ipahayag,
Yeah,
no?
ikwento
Tungkol
sa
mga
amin.
nangyari sa iyong buhay. Bakit mo naisipan na ihayag ito sa malaking bahagi ng publiko?
For me kasi, growing up, nung kabataan ko pa lang, talagang I'm really suppressed. Una sa pamilya. Nandun yung ginagawa kang katatawanan. Pangalawa, habang lumalaki ka, hindi mo talaga mailabas yung tunay mong pagkatao. So, nako-confuse ka in the process. At habang ikaw ay confused internally, paglabas mo naman sa eskwela, dun sa iba pang makakasalamuha mo, talagang hindi mo mailalabas pa rin yung sarili mo. And so, magiging point ka para mabully. And so, patong-patong yung mga experiences na nangyari sa akin, and it led me to just be in my own shell. Maski na may mga times na nailalabas ko naman, like in our private circles, aware naman sila, but for me, yung chain, yung trauma that it gave me, it took me 41 years, kasi I'm 41, to publicly talk about it.
Yeah. Why did it take this long?
Well, lately, Mamu, I retired at the age of 40. That's my biggest goal. So, tinulungan naman talaga ako ni RC to achieve that. I was able to achieve that, but the problem was, you were able to achieve what you wanted, pero you're so lonely, you're discontented. Kasi nung nag-40 kami, halos magkasabay lang kami, ilang days lang. Yung kanyang definition ng 40th niya was,
Fast?
Complete na yung life ko at 40.
Yeah.
And na-feel ko na sobrang happy ko despite na wala man kaming baby. Parang hindi ko need ng baby para maging happy ka. I have my employees as well. So, my extended family. So, parang feeling ko kompleto ako.
Yeah.
And hindi ko in-expect na yung nag-share siya, may pinagdadaanan
Which is
pala
the
siya.
opposite naman ng pinagdaraanan mo. Kung
Totally.
siya happy, complete, walang complications, ikaw naman,
Sobra.
slid down ka raw to depression. when
that's
you
right.
retired.
Oh, it's like I don't want to talk to anybody. Tapos I've been very mad sa trabaho. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants to work with me. Kasi nga yung suppressed emotion hindi mo rin naiintindihan ano ba talaga yung root causes nung hunger na meron ka. I really tried to hide lahat ng pinagdaanan ko nung kabataan ko, and I just focus on being an achiever. I'm very open-minded on a lot of things, very vocal as well. Pero pagdating sa aspeto nung tunay mong pagkatao, maski na matagal na yung aming relasyon, hindi ko talaga siya mag-
Anong particular experience sa past life mo when you were younger, yung nagpipigil sa'yo?
Well, I've been ashamed several times. Yung, siyempre, growing up years mo, isipin mo yung mga masasayang experiences, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung pinaka nag-mark sa akin was napahiya ako sa lahat ng mga pinsan ko, sa mga grandparents ko. I was actually molested as a child. And
by,
so,
by a relative or
yes, oo. First time to say it in public as well. And yung molestation na yon, growing up parang mina-mindset ka na tama ito eh. And so when it ended, kasi there came a time na natapos na siya, I was looking for somebody para ma-feel ulit yung na-experience ko na yon. I tried to do it and nagsumbong yung isa kong younger cousin. That was a big turning point in my life na nakakahiya, mali ka talaga. Mali yung nararamdaman mo, mali yung pagiging bakla mo.
mga ilang taon ka nung nalaman mong hindi ka katulad ng ibang mga lalaki?
Siguro less than 7. Kasi nga yun yung time na pinaglalaroan ako ng mga relatives ko, tapos I was molested.
At that age also pala? That
Yes,
young?
very
That
early
young?
talaga.
7 years
And
old.
how
Yes,
long
yes.
did it last, if I may ask?
Siguro it lasted for less than 10 years. Medyo
Mahaba
mahaba-haba
din,
din.
And you just
Oo.
kept quiet about it? Wala
Ay-
ka pinagsabihan?
I was because nakakahiya. Yung alam ko yung mom ko partly may alam siya, nararamdaman niya. Kasi naalala ko in my early days sinasabi niya mali yung mga ganitong gawain. So indirectly she's saying that. But walang direct confrontation na this has to stop, yung mga ganon. And so nasa utak mo lang siya kung ano ba yung tama at ano ba yung mali.
And even if your abuser, hindi mo nasabi sa mami mo.
Hindi talaga.
Kaya
Up to now?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Kaya
So,
itong part na to
it's a
ng
shock
buhay
to
mo,
her.
oo, ngayon lang niya malalaman.
lahat ng relatives ko. Talagang I'm going through a
Yeah.
healing process.
Yeah.
And I wanted all of these baggage out of my system because alam ko na just like RC, I could be happy in life eh.
Yeah.
And pinaka-importante naman sa akin, it's not just myself eh. Kasi I know at this day and age, marami pa rin yung nagdadaan sa pinagdaraanan ko.
Oo.
And I wanted freedom
Yeah.
for
Oo eh.
everybody else.
Kasi yung iba mga kabataan, dumarating sila sa punto na hindi nila alam kung lalaki sila o pusong babae sila. No? Ikaw ba dumating ka sa punto na gano'n na confused ka? Ano ba talaga ako? Kailangan ko yata muna mag-girlfriend para malaman ko kung anong totoo. Ikaw ba? Dumaan ka sa gano'n?
A lot of times, Papu. Kasi nga, lahat ng tao sa paligid ko, sabi, you have to act like this. Kailangan mag-girlfriend ka, kailangan ganito, kailangan ganon. And so, bilang bata, na ina-absorb mo lahat yon, tapos may mga nangyayaring hindi mo naiintindihan at wala naman nag-explain. I tried. So, I had girlfriends, I had flings, lahat talaga I tried. So, yung buhay ko habang lumalaki, talagang magulo siya. Kasi, personally, paano mo ka magiging academically excellent, paano ka magiging okay sa community, kung sarili mo, sobrang gulong-gulo ka talaga.
Tama yun.
Kailan mo na-realize na ito dapat direksyon na tahakin ko? Ayoko na. This is it, no? Kailangan ito ang
Ayoko na
direksyon ko.
mag-conform sa
Kailan
aking
yan?
family. Ito ako.
Right. Well, I fought really hard, but at the age of 18, mind-opening yung nakapasok ako kay Ricky Lee dun sa writer's studio.
Oh,
Sir
nag-aral din
Ricky.
kami doon.
Sir Ricky.
So,
Picture namin si Ricky.
Si
Oo.
Tatang hindi man niya ako pwedeng ipagmalaki bilang isang writer. May pagmamalaki niya ako na nabukas yung utak ko na okay, katanggap-tanggap naman pala yung mga LGBT at that point. Tapos I also had an encounter that made me realize ito ba talaga yung gusto ko. And then after that, I had the first relationship ko na sa kapwa ko. And I realized na it's giving me a different dimension, color, love. And yun talaga ako. That's the definition of my
Mas
true
happy ka
self.
nun nung,
Yes.
nung ginawa mo yun.
That's
How did RC enter your life and how was he able to help? Oo. Diba?
Actually, since 20 years na nga kami this October.
Ay, congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Happy 20. 20 din kami. 20 years kami sa
Tagal
December
na.
8 naman. Sabay pala tayo. 20 years.
Parang nakita lang kami actually through text nung time na yun. That's 2003. Sa isang radio station. Ako kasi ako nung nag-aaral ako, I wanted na magkaka-love life lang ako pagtapos na ako mag-aral. Kasi at least syempre yung parents ko gusto nila matapos ako ng maayos. And ginawa ko yun. So, nung patapos na ako, sabi ko, okay, baka pwede na akong mag-love life. Parang ganun ba? So I posted sa isang radio station looking for someone na baka pwedeng possible friendship or possible na relationship. Then nag-message siya. So basically textmate lang kami nag-start.
So nag-grow yung relationship. You started out as friends and na-nurture nyo.
Yes.
Tapos 20 years na. Oo. So mabalik lang ako dun sa I hope you don't mind kasi hindi ko natanong kanina. Nagkaroon na ba ng closure? Yun yung pinagdaanan mo ng bata ka when you were molested?
Yung closure ko, Mamu, it's happening now because I'm going through therapy session. Yung complete healing ko.
Yeah.
That's why I'm also brave now.
Yeah.
In fact, ako yung sa aming dalawa, ako talaga yung sobrang kabado. To think, ang lakas ng, kaya kong malakas yung personality, but now, I feel weak and vulnerable. So, lahat ng mga, yung healing process ko, it's happening, it's unfolding now.
Yeah.
And according to the people who's helping me, I don't really have to confront them in person. As long as I forgive them in my head and in the spirit level, at least I get to let go of our karma. And so, ngayon hindi naman na siya big deal for me to talk about it.
But you've forgiven.
Yes,
And
I
now
did.
you're moving on. Kasi
Yes.
yun na yung forgiveness part yan ng moving on and moving forward. And
That's
part din ng healing process mo is ito, yung ginagawa mo ngayon. You're talking about it, di ba?
That's right.
And you're coming out. So for the record, you're coming out today.
That's right, in
our
public.
Publicly.
Publicly, because alam ng close friends nyo, sa circle nyo.
Tama po.
Wow.
Tanungin ko lang si RC,
Thank you.
tumahan ka rin ba
Oh.
sa ganun? Nung lumalaki ka?
Actually, totally different yung
Different.
ano namin.
Iba
Like for
talaga.
example,
Yeah.
sa family ko kasi, alam mo yung hindi siya pinag-uusapan. Pero random mong love ka nila, whatever yung mangyari. So sa part yun, based sa experience, siyempre sobrang blessed ko dun sa family ko lang din. Na despite na I'm gay, hindi siya pinag-uusapan, pero lahat ng need ko, support naman nila. Like for example, yung first Spice Girls cassette ko, binili pa ng dad ko.
Spice Girls!
Yeah,
Wow.
Spice Girls, 90s kid. So, alam mo yun na, tapos yung sister ko, like yung Sailor Moon from Taiwan, request ko, binigay niya. Walang usapan na bawal ang
Hindi
gay.
kailangan
Walang ganon.
himay-himayin. Hindi
Yeah.
kailangan
So,
yung ilatag
oo.
mo yung mga salita sa table. Yung action.
I think siguro
Feel
dahil
mo yung embrace.
feeling ko naman nung bata ako responsible din naman, like yun nga, sabi ko nga sa sarili ko, kailangan after graduation doon lang ako magkaroon ng love life. Study muna. Kasi
Study.
syempre yung parents, naniniwala ka na yung parents kasi they wanted na yung bata matapos na maayos. Syempre, pag dumating yung time na wala sila, di ba? At least
Yeah,
alam
yeah.
nilang kaya nyo na yan. Para wala rin silang masabi.
Ikaw, Jordan, opposite yung nangyari sa'yo.
Opposite eh.
Nagagalit ba yung parents mo na dahil kumikilos ka na parang babae, nagagalit sila?
Sobra.
Paano ginagawa nila?
I've been humiliated in public several times kasi nga mali yun. Tapos, I have a stepfather kasi na Chinese. So, kapag Chinese at nasa negosyo, lumaki ako na iniisip na malas ako sa negosyo kasi yun yung na-imprint sa utak ko na, oy, malas yung pagiging bakla sa negosyo. Kaya umayos ka, ayusin mo yung sarili mo. But, just a disclaimer,
Yeah.
I understand ko ano yung pinagdaanan ko with my parents, with my mom particularly. Mas naiintindihan ko kasi na nung panahon niya, that's what's needed. Kumbaga, I don't blame her for doing such. Because now, she's very accepting of us. In fact, kami nga yung hindi komportable kapag siya na yung nag-open up about us. Eh. yes.
Hindi mo masisin, lumaki siya old school, tapos
That's
ngayon na
right.
lang siya na-woke.
That's
Now yun. Pero
Now
nung
yun.
time na nag-shape pa lang yung pagkatao mo at naranasan mo yung mga ganyang klaseng experience, hindi rin maganda.
Oh,
Di ba?
Formative
Katulad
years.
sa'yo, di ba? Ngayon ka pala nag-heal eh.
Yeah.
After many years.
Yeah.
So magandang punto to kasi yung mga viewers natin, baka meron sila mga anak na ganyan. Ano ang advice na maibibigay ninyo sa kanila?
Well, una sa parents, let's be really open about who your children are. I understand na meron kayong set of ideas kung ano yung gusto nyong maging sa mga bata. But let's also remember that a higher being, our God, created us as well. So hindi kami by accident nandito lang.
Yeah.
And with that, let's also respect and guide them. Let's not force them. We need parental guidance, but we also need to be free and explore who we really are. And that's so important lalo na sa panahon na to. Kasi kung hindi, I am so grateful and I'm blessed in a way na I channeled all the frustrations. Yung suppression ko, I channeled it in a way na I needed to say something in the society. I needed to be somebody para people could start listening to me. Because my other sibling is also a part of LGBT. It's a little opposite. I have a stronger personality while my sister very quiet lang. And so alam mong may mga struggles din siya sa internally. And I hope for parents, let's just guide them and be loving. Yun ang pinaka-importante. Love them dun sa kaya mong ibigay. At para naman sa atin na hindi porket tinanggap naman tayo ng magulang natin para sa mga LGBT, sa mga bakla katulad namin, wag naman nating, let's not go strings. Kailangan nating respetuhin din yung sarili natin at intindihin kung ano ba talaga yung purpose natin, bakit nandito tayo. Kasi hindi lang to aksidente. So it's not just for parents to accept us for who we are, but it's also for us to explore and be responsible. And at the same time, let's look at the bigger picture because certainly, there's a bigger picture, bigger purpose for all of us. Bakit ganito tayo?
Wow, and in finding yourself, in this journey of finding yourself, what is your purpose?
For me, my purpose really is, it's something that I've also heard and I accepted. I've been suppressed and this time has come. And thank you to Papu and Mamu for allowing us. My purpose really is to empower those who are still silent and going through the pains of the past, of people, their families, and their society not accepting them and loving them. So my purpose is to empower you, to tell you na naiintindihan ko po kayo, and at the same time, there's a brighter future for everybody. The world is becoming more open, not just open, but also loving to everybody.
And understanding,
Yeah.
di ba? Not that we're downgrading no, kung ano yung klase ng pagpapalaki na pinagdaanan mo. Pero tama ba na sabihin na yung klase ng pagpapalaki, KRC, yun ang ideal? Na magulang
Yes, and for the kids naman sana, ang siguro kung meron akong parang suggestion is be responsible na lang din. Kumbaga, like, alam naman natin na kahit open ng LGBT, hindi rin naman ganito yun. Di ba, hindi lahat is okay for LGBT.
Yeah.
Be responsible lang din sana, know our limits din. Siguro, parang improve yourself muna, study muna, and then after that, bali tayo sa parents natin muna.
Yeah.
After all, parang suklayan natin yung pagmamahal nila na binigay ng bata tayo. Yun yun.
Thank you.
Love.
Thank you, guys. Salamat.
Faith,
Thank
hope, and
you.
love, guys.
Thank you.
Hugs.
Hi Breelers! If you love this content, please watch another video from us. Also, click on the subscribe button and make sure to turn on the notifications bell. That way you're still connected and updated with Transform Media PH. Remember to follow us on our other socials.